We all experience various types of losses in our lives. We lose jobs, we lose our friends, as in relationships, marriages, people separate, we lose our dreams, we lose opportunities, we even lose time, and the worst one is when we lose our loved ones to death. Loss is painful. Loss is never welcome. Loss is not something that is good, but it is something that comes our way every now and then. How do you deal with it when it comes? How do you ensure that you navigate through it in a way that will leave you in a more stable way, or in a way that life will still continue, or you'll be able to reinvent back, or you'll be able to accept that this has happened and life must go on? Those are some of the things that I would want us to discuss today. As a counseling psychologist, my name is Kimani. I want you to just remain on this channel. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you write a comment. Make sure that you share and let as many people watch. Now, when there is loss, we get what we call grief. Now, grief is how you respond, is the emotional response to a loss. So when someone tells you they are grieving, it is they are saying they are responding to a loss. And there are many ways in which people respond, or various signs that show that people are grieving. Number one is in terms of emotions. When you lose something or you lose someone, you are affected emotionally. You start feeling too sad. You start feeling a state of despair. Some people even experience what we call panic attack, overwhelming fear, overwhelming anxiety. Those are some of the emotional responses that happen. Number two is thoughts. Your thoughts are affected when you experience a loss of a person or of something. You find that you are not able to concentrate on what you are doing. You find that you are feeling so confused. You find that even memory is a problem. Those are signs that your body is responding to a loss. The third way that you'll be able to see when you are responding to a loss is physical sensations. Your body will be affected physically. This is why you start experiencing things such as headaches. You start even experiencing chest pains. Some of us even have stomach problems when they are processing this loss. The other area that you can see and tell people have or you are responding to grief or to loss, it is about behaviors, changing behaviors. Now, in behaviors, we look at things such as the sleep patterns. You find that you are no longer able to sleep as usual. You are taking too long to sleep, or you are not able to maintain sleep. Unalala ukiamuka. You find that there is change in appetite. You are either eating too much, or you feel that you don't have appetite to eat anything. You find that you are withdraw from people. You don't want to be near people. You just want to be alone. You also feel that you are completely tired and you cannot even tell what is making you to be tired. So those are some of the responses that we see during grief when someone is responding to a loss. You'll see the emotions, you'll see the physical sensations, you'll see impacts on thoughts, you'll see impact on behavior. And I want to say at this point that they are normal. It is not abnormal to experience them. I hope you have already subscribed to the channel. I hope you have already liked and written a comment. And if not, please do that as you go by and by. Let me now tell you about some types of griefs or losses. One is what we call anticipatory loss. Now, anticipatory loss, it is the loss, the grief that we feel when we are expecting something to happen. This happens in such cases like, one, you are almost to retire. Those people who are approaching retirement. And when you look back, you have not arranged yourself in quote, vizuri. You are wondering whether you'll be able to maintain the same standard of living and how life will be. So that becomes anticipatory loss. Number two, or rather before I move out of the anticipatory, another case is where your business is not doing well or your job is not doing well, and you can see that things in the near future are not going to work well. That is anticipatory. Another case is you have gone to the hospital and they have diagnosed you with a serious or with a terminal sickness. And that again creates the state of anxiety. So those are three examples of what we call anticipatory loss. And this anticipatory, it is good because it helps you to prepare so that if actually the loss happens, you will be in a mood that is ready to receive that loss. Number two, we have what we call disenfranchised loss. Disenfranchised loss or grief. This is where you have lost something and the people that are near you, they are devaluing it. They don't look at it as if it is important. So they wonder why you are crying. They wonder why you're worried. And another case is where it is stigmatized. People do not want you to mourn. People do not want you to talk about it. Wanakuchekelea, wanashangaa what is happening. Another instance of disenfranchised loss is when your relationship with that person is not known. Like, for example, what we see in some cases, maybe the man has died and he had another family elsewhere, and the children are not known, or the second or the third wives are not known. So they come to the funeral, but they cannot mourn in a way that is expressed because they don't want to be known that they are part and parcel. Their relationship is not yet known. That is called disenfranchised. The third one is what we call complicated grief or complicated loss. Now, this one, it is more dangerous because it lasts long and it can have adverse effects. It can create a state of depression. It can create appetite for substance abuse. It can even have health impacts, negative health impacts. My viewer, when you experience something like this, or when your dear one is going through this, make sure that they seek help from counselors like myself, or from clinicians, or from any other person that can help. Those are the three types of losses. We have anticipatory, we have disenfranchised, and we have what we are calling complicated. Now, let me talk about what we call myths about loss and grief. One, people will tell you, don't cry. When you cry, you appear weak. But I want to tell you, my viewer, if you feel like crying, cry. Crying is normal. It is okay. It helps you release the pain. And at this point, let me say that do not allow people to tell you how to mourn. Do not allow people to tell you how to go about feeling about your loss. You are the only one who can understand it. Actually, in counseling, we tell people, don't tell them you understand what they are going through. You cannot understand what I'm going through when I've lost my mother. You cannot understand what I'm going through when I've lost my job. You can only imagine. So let not people tell you don't cry. Crying is okay. It is normal. It is actually very, very beneficial. Another myth is where people say that time will solve the loss. And therefore you need to ignore the loss. You need to ignore what has happened, and with time you heal. But I want to tell you that time does not heal. It only gives you an opportunity to deal with the problem. So face the problem head on. Accept what has happened. Deal with it. Look at it. And the earlier you accept it, the better it will be for you. Another myth that people say is mourning should not exceed more than a year. And I want to say that grief and loss is a process. And we do not have a timetable for it. There are those who recover quickly. There are those who take long. So go at your pace. But again, if it takes too long, then it becomes what we have just called complicated loss, and you need to be assisted. So there is no defined time frame for mourning. Another myth that people give is you need to be strong. You need to show others that you're strong. That is very dangerous. If you feel like crying, if you feel like falling down, whatever you feel like doing, as long as you don't harm yourself, please do it. Don't try to show people that you are strong. Actually, if you cry and recover, that is when now you can help those people that you wanted to show that you are strong. It is important, especially for men, because when these things happen in a family setup, a man must remain strong. Look for a secluded place and express your emotions. Those are some of the myths that are there. Now, there is a psychologist known as Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, and in the year 1969, she came up with some 5 steps that people go through loss. And one of them is called denial. Now, denial is when you want to refuse that this has happened. You want to say, no, it can't happen. And you're saying, maybe someone will call and say that it is not true. Or maybe someone left you and you say, they will just come back. Or maybe you are fired from work and you're saying, I know they will call me, I know. Now, I want to say that denial is very, very important. It is one of the defense mechanisms that God has imbued in our bodies. So it is important. Now, when you are through with denial, you go to the next step, which is called anger. Now, anger is where you start asking questions like, why did it have to happen now? Why did I have to lose my mother? Why did I have to lose my loved one now? What did I do to deserve this? You feel anger. And again, I want to say it is good to experience anger. Even those of us who read the Bible, we have several instances that we have seen characters in the Bible expressing anger. Even God himself expresses anger. So it is okay. Go through that anger. Ask those questions. Ask them. It is very important. After anger, you go to another stage we call bargain. Now, this is where you start getting like a ray of hope. You start bargaining and saying, if they could do this, this could happen. Or maybe if I did this, this could have happened or could not have happened. And unfortunately, this step of bargain can make you to feel guilty. But I want to say that it is normal. Go through it. After you are through with the bargain, we go now to what we call depression. This is a state of intense sadness. You feel bitter. You feel angry that this has happened. After that, we go to the final stage, which is called acceptance. This is where you accept, you acknowledge that whatever happened has happened and life must go on. And that does not mean that we are comfortable with what is happening, but we are acknowledging that it has happened. That it has happened. So the next thing that I needed to discuss is what do you do when you face this loss? 1, accept that the loss has happened. Number 2, go through the pain. Stay with the pain. If it is crying, cry. Number 3, look for help. Look for people who can help you. The support system, the counselors, the people that are near you. And as I come to the conclusion, make sure you are very careful on how you use social media. I have seen people post these losses in social media. It can be dangerous. People can be abusive in social media. And at the end, come and consult counselors like myself. We can help you process the pain and the loss. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you keep it on this channel. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell so that you always get the notifications. My name is Kimani. I'm based in the Bazaar Plaza as a counselor. Thank you. Thank you so much.